going on, guys? My name is Zed and welcome to this video. This is Last Week, the show where I basically talk about all the things in popular culture that I found interesting in the previous week. Now, this week's episode is going to be a little bit different. I have decided to take out Last Week I Watched and the Mando discussion from last week because they just don't perform well. I can see my analytics and I can basically tell that right as Last Week I Watched starts, everyone tunes out. Which is okay, that's why I wanted to try out these shows within this format to see if it would be at all any more interesting. Now, I've already put the Mando discussion as its own video this week on the channel, but I'm still deciding what to do with Last Week I Watched. So, more than likely won't be an episode of that this week. But with that being said, please enjoy some kinda research news right about now. So to start off the week, we got some really cool news out of the HBO Max series Titans. Now, Titans will be moving over to HBO Max for its third season, and they just released the first photos for Starfire's new costume. Wow, it is beautiful. I'm one of those people that when they first revealed the costume for season 1, this one right here, I was not thrilled with it, but I liked the casting, so I went along with it. And finally, we're getting a better costume, a much, much better costume. This thing looks wicked. I love it. The actress is amazing. And I cannot wait to see this suit in action, because I'm sure it's going to even look better. Director Chris Columbus confirms that the upcoming Gremlins 3 will not include any CGI Gremlins or Mogwai, which is really amazing to hear. CGI is a great tool, don't get me wrong, but if you can go practical, go practical. As practical as you can be, as practical enough to keep everyone safe. But when it comes to a couple furry puppets, how dangerous can they be? Just don't feed them after midnight. I love this. I'm so looking forward to Gremlins 3. I love the first Gremlins. Gremlins 2 I haven't seen as much, but exciting news to know that they are definitely trying to go the practical route. And then some news coming out of Marvel Studios. So, last year they announced the Fantastic Four would go into production at Marvel, and that they would finally be joining the MCU. Well, casting rumors have been flying around, the two most popular ones being Emily Blunt as the Invisible Woman, and then John Krasinski as Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. Well, it seems like Marvel Studios might be in conversation with Amber Heard to portray Susan Storm in this, let's say live action, in this Fantastic Four movie. Now, the rumors are a bit mixed up. There's rumors that say that she has gone to Marvel, trying to, secure the role. And there's been rumors that Marvel themselves have been are going to Amber Heard, trying to get her to sign on to the role. I don't want this. That's just plain and simple what I feel. I don't want this. The Fantastic Four are some of my favorite characters, Mr. Fantastic being one of my favorite superheroes, and I don't want this movie tainted. There's already been too many tainted Fantastic Four movies. I just want a genuinely good Fantastic Four movie in the MCU. And then some absolutely bonkers news. Not only is Toy Story and Pixar celebrating their 25th anniversary this year, but Disney's Tangled is celebrating its 10th anniversary. 10! Did you hear that? This movie came out a decade ago. What? And then next up in some Netflix news, straight out of Stranger Things Season 4, Robert Englund has been casted as a titular character in the series. He'll be playing a serial killer. Now, if you don't know who Robert Englund is, and you're fucking crazy, he portrayed Wes Craven's Freddy Krueger in the Nightmare on Elm Street series. A Nightmare on Elm Street is my favorite horror movie, and I love Freddy Krueger. Now, this is crazy, but I never thought we would see Bob Englund on screen again. But we are, and in one of my favorite TV series that are running right now. This is super exciting, a great casting. He is going to, pun intended, kill it. And then next up, the semi-newly announced Nick Fury series going to Disney Plus has been rumored to begin production in mid-2021. Samuel L. Jackson will be returning. I don't know what this series is going to be about. Is it going to be directly after the events of Captain Marvel, Infinity War, or Endgame? Is it going to be the start of a new organization like SWORD? What's it going to be? I don't know, but I'm excited because it's Samuel L. Jackson, and Marvel is going to start really trying to work hard on its television shows because their movies are already successful. They understand how to make... Freddy was dusty. Marvel Studios already knows how to make a successful movie, so they're going to be really focusing on trying to make successful TV shows. Really excited to have Sam Jackson on board for that. All right, I'm pissed. So last week, I might have spread a little bit of misinformation when I talked about Mads Mikkelsen denying the rumors that he would be taking over the role of Grindelwald after Johnny Depp was fired. Well, it has been confirmed that Mads Mikkelsen will in fact be taking over the role as Grindelwald in Fantastic Beasts 3. This is the last time I will be talking about this because I'm getting really sick and tired of not doing my research and getting shit wrong. And in some more Marvel Studios news, not only is it rumored that Vin Diesel will be providing the voice for Groot in Thor: Love and Thunder, but he will also be providing the mocap for Groot. Alright, y'all, I don't know what to think about this because it looks like Alfred Molina will be reprising his role as Dr. Otto Octavius in Marvel Studios' Spider-Man 3. So Alfred Molina has been spotted near the production working with stunt choreographers on some action sequences. Now, they already brought back Jamie Foxx as Electro, so this isn't a stretch to bring back Alfred Molina. Though, if you remember from Spider-Man 2, at the end, Doc Ock kinda dies, but so does Electro. He kinda dies at the end of his movie, and they kind of both die in like giant bright lights of energy and such, so maybe, possibly, who knows what this means. But I love that we're getting my childhood, my Spider-Man trilogy from growing up, some representation in the MCU, furthering the Sinister Six Spider-Verse storyline within Spider-Man 3. And then next up in some bidding war news, Godzilla vs. King Kong will likely be going straight to home video on HBO Max. Now, Netflix has made an offer of $200 million to put the movie on their streaming platform, but Warner Media is likely to just send it straight to HBO Max. Now, I love this series. I adore it. I think it's amazing. And though I am excited to be able to see it sooner rather than later, I definitely want to see it on the big screen, not my small television or even on my cell phone. So it's a bit bittersweet, but I don't know. How do I feel about this? I think there could have been a big likelihood that Godzilla vs. Kong would have been a billion-dollar movie. Now, that's just in the traditional box office. I don't know how it's going to perform on HBO Max or whoever actually wins the rights to it. But what I don't want this to do is to underperform and then cancel the series as a whole. And in a crazy twist of events, Lynda Carter seems to be in negotiations to reprise her role as a Wonder Woman in 2022's The Flash movie. Now, Lynda Carter portrayed Wonder Woman between the years of 1975 and 1979 on her Wonder Woman television series. I did not expect this to ever happen. Maybe in an Arrowverse episode or event, but I never thought of her coming back in a movie, especially the magnitude that is The Flash. Now, we already have Michael Keaton returning and Ben Affleck returning, and we've also heard of a slew of other actors and characters returning as well. And this is one that definitely has me. Now, at the beginning of this year, we got Birds of Prey. Now, that movie did not perform as well as expected, and though I enjoyed it, I did not love it. But one character that stood out to me and that I loved tremendously was Black Canary. Now, it looks like HBO has took a hold of that, and they are developing a spin-off movie or series for the character. I'm more than okay with that. The only thing I ask of this series is actually let Black Canary use her canary cry, because she used it once in Birds of Prey and it knocked her on her ass. That is not Black Canary. Now, when Zed was growing up, there was a book series and a television series called Clifford the Big Red Dog. Now, I adored both of these series, and I actually had a teacher, my first grade teacher, in fact, Mrs. Thompson. If you're watching, hi. You're not watching. But Mrs. Thompson was infatuated with Clifford the Big Red Dog. Her classroom was just nothing but Clifford everywhere, as far as the eye could see. And thus, I always had this, fondness for it. It brought back good memories. And when I found out they're making a live-action adaptation, I was excited. I was optimistic for what could be in store. Then I saw some on-set photos of Jack Whitehall, which is a comedian I adore, on the set with this giant red puppet thing. And I was like, interesting. I wonder what we're doing. But just a couple of days ago, the internet was blessed with the first official images or trailer teaser for Clifford the Big Red Dog. And for some reason, the internet was just not expecting them to go for a big red dog. I don't know why. I've even seen some people on the internet boycotting, saying that if we bully the studio enough, they'll change it like we did with Sonic the Hedgehog. It's a big fucking red dog. Like, what were you expecting? He looks great. He looks like he should. Now, there's one thing I want to point out that I haven't seen anybody else talking about, and that is the fact that Clifford here looks like a puppy. Now, in the series, when Elizabeth gets Clifford, he does start as a normal red puppy. And then he slowly grows until he is, more of an adult. And that is like, adult Clifford is what you see in the books and TV series. This Clifford still looks like a puppy. And I do believe that by the end of the movie, you will see an even bigger, more mature adult Clifford. And that kind of further, why I think this is this image right here that was released leaked months ago. This Clifford looks a lot different than this Clifford. And I do think that we will be seeing Clifford more mature and grow up throughout this movie. So those are my thoughts. If you are mad about Clifford the Big Red Dog being a big red dog, then you're a fucking idiot. And then next up in some Netflix news, David Lynch has been tapped to write and direct a new Netflix series. Now the working title is Wisteria, and I don't really know what this is going to be about, but David Lynch's past projects are stuff like Twin Peaks, The Elephant Man, Dune, which is getting a live action remake or reboot. So pretty cool stuff. David Lynch is a name that it's pretty synonymous with like 80s and 90s TV and movie. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do with Netflix. Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 84 director Patty Jenkins teased a Wonder Woman spin-off movie focused on the Amazonian women of Paradise Island. Now, this is pretty fucking cool. I don't know what this is going to be. Is it going to be an actual theatrical release, another HBO series or movie? I'm not entirely sure. There comes a time where you start thinking to yourself, is this getting oversaturated? Are they going too big? You know, stuff with like Aquaman spinoff The Trench. Like, do we need a movie about all the different creatures in the trench? I won't know until I see it. So if you want to, if Warner Brothers wants to spend the money and HBO wants to spend the money, then go right the fuck ahead. I'll probably watch it. Now, next up, we have a piece of news that I've heard whispers about. It has not been widely reported as much as the return of Doc Ock, but it seems that Marvel Studios might be casting a live-action Miles Morales for Spider-Man 3. Take this with a grain of salt. It could just be one of those internet rumors to get people spiced up. Not entirely sure. But again, if true, is furthering the rumors of the live-action Spider-Verse movie. And in some more exciting Marvel Studios news, the rights to Daredevil have finally reverted back to the studio, which means they can use Daredevil whenever they please, and I hope it's sooner rather than later. And then lastly, we have some sad news. Actor David Prowse, who is most well known for bringing to life the live-action physique for Darth Vader, has sadly passed away at the age of 85. Now, Prowse was battling an unknown illness for a short period of time, which then led to his death. Now, David Prowse lived a bittersweet life. He was a part of a phenomenon with Star Wars. But he also maybe talked a bit much and ended up getting himself banned from any Star Wars events, which meant he was basically just going to small Star Wars events, small conventions and such to meet fans, but nothing like Star Wars Celebration, which is unfortunate. I think that George Lucas should have let bygones be bygones and lifted that ban long ago. So it's bittersweet. All right, guys, that is the end of this week's episode of Last Week. I hope you guys learned something new, are excited about something new, but thank you guys for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Peace.